The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light.
Every single word comes from a movement of the cheek muscle, a very tiny, specific muscular movement.
Type 1 to 2
that
words a minute.
requires extreme
Married twice, had 3
dedication,
children, and
commitment.
outlived the prognosis by 43 years, treating every single day as a chance to ask a new question.
40 years ago I wrote a paper, Breakdown of Predictability and Gravitational Collapse, in which I claimed there would be loss of predictability of the final state if the black hole evaporated completely.
Hello, thank you very much for coming.
Dear sisters and brothers, I speak not for myself,
Much of my own life
but for those without voice can be heard.
has been spent exploring the nature of black holes.
The brain
their
is a kind of
geometry,
computer, but it's a
evolution,
computer such
and
as
the
no
fate of
human
those
factory
unlucky
has
enough
ever
to
turned
fall in.
out.
What do you think you are doing? Said the other animals.
We know there is at least one advanced civilization
You're too little for the fire.
with a propensity for destroying species, ecosystems,
We are overwhelmed.
atmospheres, and weather patterns,
You should be as well.
perhaps entire planets.
The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization.
Now, my own suspicion is that the universe is not only queerer than we suppose,
I suspect
but
that there are
queerer
more things
than
in
we
heaven and
can
earth
suppose,
than
are dreamed
peasant,
of
every
or can be
mother,
dreamed
father,
of
in love,
in
every
any
child,
philosophy.
On the
inventor
9th of
and
October
explorer,
2012,
Stars
every
and
teacher
gulf
of
planets.
morals, every
The
corrupt
Taliban.
politician,
Supernovas fire
every
lethal rays
superstar,
across space.
every
shot me on the left
supreme,
side of
every
my
saint
forehead.
and sinner in the
Asteroids
history
hurtle
of our
around at
species.
hundreds of miles a second.
They shot my friends too.
Lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam.
I'd like to tell a story of a hummingbird. I don't know how many of you have heard me tell about the hummingbird.
After sleeping for 140 million centuries, we have finally woken up in the universe. We've opened our eyes on a wonderful planet, filled with color, teeming with life. Before very long, we shall have to close our eyes again.
So this story is the story of a forest that caught fire. And it was a huge fire. They felt like there was nothing they could do because the problem was too much for them, except this little hummingbird.
Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot.
They thought that the bullets
So where does
would
life come
silence
from?
us. They think
What is
that
it? Why are we
God
here?
is a
What are we
tiny
for?
little
What
conservative
is the
being.
meaning of life?
And out of that silence came thousands of voices.
The hummingbird said, I'm going to do something about the fire.
Whenever we make a great new leap, like the moon landings, we elevate humanity, bring people and nations together, usher in new discoveries and new technologies.
There is something in our lives that we can do, no matter how small
We're
it
just
is.
part of the animal kingdom. And we're not the only beings with personalities and minds capable of reasoning, and certainly not the only beings with emotions like happiness, sadness, fear, despair, nor are we the only beings capable of giving and receiving love.
Think of the endless cruelties visited
What do you think you are doing? Said the other animals.
by the inhabitants of one corner
You're
of
too
this
little
pixel
for the fire.
on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner.
We are overwhelmed. You should be as well.
How frequent their misunderstandings.
I'm here
How eager they are
speak
to
up.
kill one another. How fervent their hatreds.
for the right of education of every child.
Now the hummingbird, without stopping her work, she continued running up and down to get the water. But she turned once to the other animals and said, I'm doing the best I can. That, my friends, is all we are called to
Our
do.
planet
To
is a
do
lone
the best
speck
we can.
in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves.
You cannot enslave a
We
mind
will continue our
that
journey.
knows itself,
One
that
child,
values itself,
one teacher,
that understands itself.
one book, and one pen can change the world. Dear sisters and brothers, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced.
Here are the most important pieces of advice that I've passed on to my children. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet.
We must not forget.
2. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it.
We must not forget.
3. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is rare and don't throw it away.
We must not forget.
Preserve and cherish the pale blue dot. The only home we've ever known.